How's it going, Sha?
I think I've misplaced a saltine.
A saltine?
A saltine cracker is in my house, and I don't remember eating it, but I can't find it where I thought I put it down.
Is this a regular occurrence?
Not always, although I have been known to pick up a cookie, start eating a cookie, put it down, and then get another cookie from the pack, and then see my unfinished cookie, like as if I ash 'em or something. Um, so I've been known to, start a cookie and then start a new one without finishing the other one. But, um, it's been a while since that. I've been trying to concentrate on finishing the cookie I start so that I'm not just swamped with unfinished cookies. But I grabbed a couple of saltines and went in my room, and I had to write something on a post it. And so I finished one saltine as I thought, "Oh, let me write that down and stick it on the wall." So I put down the other saltine on my nightstand and picked up a little pad of Post-its and a pen,
Okay.
wrote what I needed to write, didn't stick it on the wall, walked into walked into the dining room area, put that pad down, peeled off the sticky thing, and then went back in my room, stuck it where I needed to stick it, and then turned around and my saltine was not there, and I was like, "Wait a minute, did I eat the saltine?" I don't remember. I mean, my mouth was full of saltine, but I thought it was from the other saltine, not from the second saltine. I thought it was from the first saltine. Anyway, that was like, oh, I don't know, 4 hours ago, and I am still concerned. I checked my cat. She doesn't really like saltines, so she didn't eat it or move it, I don't
Okay.
think. But I don't know. I mean, she is a cat.
Yeah, no, she's capable. I
She's very capable.
I'm a little curious how you and I differ so much in our cookie and saltine eating process. I don't
What?
think the cookies and saltines that I eat exist long enough for them to get lost.
Well, that's usually the case with me, which would lean towards me having eaten a second saltine, and I just did it so fast I didn't even realize that I've eaten it.
So first
That's
saltine, extreme patience. Second saltine, you were rushed.
I guess, I don't know, but I feel like I didn't like, it's possible that instead of putting the saltine down and picking up the Post-it pad, I put the second saltine in my mouth and then picked up the the Post-it pad, but that would be wild because I already had a mouth full of first saltine. Do you see what I
No,
mean?
that's
I
fair.
walked in the room eating the one saltine and holding the other,
Right.
and then was like, "Oh, let me make that note." Put down the saltine, picked up the thing, went on a rambling whatever to write the note, came back, stuck it up, second saltine gone.
You'll find it one day, I believe.
I hope today is the day. I really don't wanna find it. I really don't wanna find it in like a week. Anything's po who knows with saltines, they're wily little
No, for
creatures.
sure. I I
Mhm.
uh I don't buy saltines anymore. Because they
Mm,
remind me of struggle. Like I only get them when I want to humble myself.
I see.
Yeah, like saltines were the first time that I played in the kitchen by myself. Like I when my dad when my dad would pick me up from school, he'd leave me in the house for like 2 hours before my mom would
Okay.
get home. So I had like 2 hours on my own, and I know he thought I'd make like sandwiches. But what I would do is I would put butter on saltines and then hold the
Mm.
saltine over the stove
Okay.
so I could melt the
That's pretty
butter.
good.
Yeah, it tasted great, but like it's death dangerous. Like I didn't put it on a pot. Like I was literally just
Oh,
over the fire.
holding a yeah, no, that's I mean, that is dangerous in a kitchen, but at, like, a campsite,
Yeah,
you're doing revolutionary things. Here's what I would do for a snack, after school. I, um we had a toaster oven, So I was very big on, um, like, cinnamon toast,
Okay.
but not just simple, like, put a little butter on the toast, sprinkle a little cinnamon, sprinkle a little sugar, toast it, and here's your cinnamon toast. I was, basically putting butter on, a good amount of butter on,
Okay.
well, margarine actually, and then sprinkling some cinnamon, and then, I don't know, a heaping spoonful of sugar
Okay.
on it, and spreading it out on the piece of bread, so much so that it would heat up in the toaster oven, and then when you went to tear off a piece of it, it would crack. It was like a whole just a glaze of sugar.
Okay.
And then at some point, I just stopped doing the cinnamon part because I mean, what are we doing? That's not why I'm here. I'm here for this floor of sugar that I've made.
I'm with that. I gotta say, you
Yeah,
sold me on
I
this.
yeah, I did that a lot. And that was after eating whatever snack it was our parents left for us.
That's
So
real.
that was like after oatmeal cream pie, I was like, "That's good, but let me go on and make this this sugar this sugar toast."
I feel like because of those things, like I got ahead. Like I'm 100% sure I invented Lunchables. Like I was doing that way before. I was making full sandwiches on Ritz crackers.
Oh, yeah, no, sure, yes, everyone
Yeah.
for sure was doing that. Yeah.
Like,
I the reason we even have saltines is because, early on in, Panadamadam, I, thought I was getting COVID every day. It was allergies. It was allergies, but I thought I was getting COVID every day, and so I asked my roommate to get he was going out to the store, I asked him to get me some chicken soup,
okay.
like chicken noodle soup and some saltines, because I was just like, they say to treat it like you would whenever you're sick, so that's what I need. And he went out and he got basically the wrong kind of chicken noodle soup, which is to say that he and I were just raised different. Um,
What did he get? What did he get?
he got like, I don't want to shame any
Okay.
brands.
Okay.
I'm not saying this is a bad soup.
It's just
It
not
was like
yours.
Progresso
Okay.
chicken noodle soup. So, the noodle's like a corkscrew noodle, and, it's supposed to be like as if it was real chicken noodle soup, but I thought that we as a people, any of the people I've let in my life, I thought we were all in agreement that chicken noodle soup is Campbell's chicken noodle soup,
Okay.
and that's it, with the squares of chicken, quote, unquote, and the plain noodle, and the broth tastes like healing, and that is what chicken noodle soup for sickness is Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Oh.
Chicken noodle soup to pass off as your own is Progresso, or I guess if you were raised in a house where you made Progresso money or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like I would get Campbell's for me. I would get
Mhm.
Progresso for my wife.
Okay. See, we all getting Campbell's if you with me. Everybody getting Campbell's for chicken noodle soup. Now, I don't mind Progresso. It's a very good soup. Progresso makes a tomato basil soup that is out of this world.
Okay.
If my reflux would let me eat it, I'd eat it all the time. In fact, eating it all the time previously might be why my reflux is the way it is. But, so he got that and he got, saltines, and I started eating the saltines and, of course, drinking ginger ale because that's universal how you fix things. Flat tires, stomach aches, saltines and ginger ale. And, I was just like, "Man, this is actually calming me down," but not because it's like it was very calming. It was just like someone had taken a blanket and put it over me and just said, "Just lay down. Just be still." Be still, eat these saltines, drink this ginger ale, we're gonna make it through. And so I brought just like one sleeve of, saltines, which is what I call a group of white men who are probably in the financial business. I call them a sleeve of saltines. Um
Oh, so you go box?
I we this time well, my roommate had a couple of saltines, and he was just like, "Now I suddenly love saltines." So now I'm buying boxes of saltines,
Oh, I was
and we're burning through them.
see, we're the green tin over here. You
Okay.
know, the double they
Mhm.
come double length and in the green tin. Yeah, I'm always
Oh.
impressed with saltines. Like they know when it's their moment. You know what I mean? Like they
Mhm.
hit you hard when it's like when it's time. Like there's no single serving saltines. You go to the
No.
store, you sick, oh, you need me? Why you gonna get all 300 of these
Yeah.
crackers? You know, I don't care if you're only
Yeah.
eating two over the next 6 months. You know, you buying all of them, son.
Yeah, yeah, so that's what's been going on. So, occasionally, when I'm not necessarily hungry, but I know I need to chew, like, I'm not, like, hungry, like, let's look for a an actual snack, but I am, let me eat 3 saltines and keep it moving for the next couple of hours
Okay.
hungry. So that's what I was doing, and I had a bunch of saltines, and the final 2, I thought and so now there's 1 left somewhere in the apartment.
That's just a snack you're gonna find later. That's all. It's gonna be a welcome
Yeah, that's all that
surprise.
is. I'm just gonna blow off the dust, Imma kiss it up to God, I'm gonna eat it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I love it. I love it. Saltines out there. You know what? I'm gonna do that from now. I'm gonna just leave myself random snacks all over the crib.
I mean, it's really not a bad idea depending on how your bug situation is and how tightly wrapped the snack is.
I love it. Let's get into the news. Now that
Okay.
we have enough nutrition in us. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm good. I ended up eating a snack cake at some point. I think I'll be alright.
Oh man, gasoline demand spikes in several states after the pipeline hack. Growing number of gas stations along the East Coast are without fuel as nervous drivers aggressively fill up their tanks following a ransomware attack that shut down the Colonial Pipeline, a critical artery for gasoline. Panic buying threatens to exacerbate the supply shock. As of 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, 7.6% of gas stations in Virginia, 5.8% of gas stations in North Carolina did not have gas, according to the outage figures reported by Gas Buddy. Outages are also being reported in stations in Georgia, 4%, Florida, 2.5%, South Carolina, 1.9%. Yeah, that's kind of wild. I'm impressed that you could like shut down gas with a computer now.
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, um, I think there was a second, um, like, someone else another person, I think, tried to hack into another pipeline, so it's really insane.
You know,
But, I mean, it's a thing that you just never think about. Every business has worked very hard to make everything as automatic for the people as possible.
yeah.
And that is an REM reference if anyone out there caught that reference. But, or if you're from, Athens, Georgia, and you know what automatic from the people is. But, yeah, everyone's trying works so hard to put everything online, and they think it's convenient. But I think in the rush to do it, not a lot of places are doing it safely,
Mm.
and I'm I'm surprised that this was an option, but I'm also not surprised that this was an option.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, so I have two extreme feelings. I'm a little worried because I'm actually going to North Carolina next week, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get gas to come home. Apparently,
Right,
so that's
right.
gonna be an issue. But I am excited because whenever stuff like this happens, I get to hear my father tell me about it without knowing anything about like tech. Like he's gonna tell me about hacking next week. He's like, yo, you heard? They hacked into the pipeline. Like some dude was there with I don't know, he plugged into the pipeline. It's gonna be crazy.
He plugged into the
I know
pipeline
it's gonna I'm gonna get some wild translation of the news from this dude who just been hustling on the streets of East New York for the last 40 years.
and doesn't really. This is very rough because, man, I mean, have you been through any sort of, like, gas shortage in any
Yeah,
way?
I mean, we did one like a decade ago. I remember, yeah, we
Okay.
had one that were like it was the only one I've experienced. Um, yeah, I remember there was like maybe like 2 to 3 days where there was no gas. There was days where you had to like do the line and you'd like have to load up like a little container. They wouldn't even let you bring the
Okay.
car. Um,
Oh, right, okay.
yeah, so I definitely remember that being a thing in New York, maybe like a decade ago. Yeah, and you know how I remember this now actually because I was a manager at Frito Lay, and I remember that we had to figure out how to get the trucks gas so they could run their routes. And I know our boss, called all the managers. He said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to hear shit about how y'all don't got gas to do your job because we giving free gas to all our workers." At the depot. So he's like, get your car here. I will load up your car all week, and then I'll load up the Frito trucks too. So like he like killed that
Wow.
early, but like it was also like ill because it was like we had the gas plug, like we had like a whole like gas container in our yard. So like we
Mhm.
had people hitting us up like, yo, you think you can sneak in my girl, get gas for a car? I knew one driver like he came in every day that week with a different car. Like he was loading up his whole
Wow.
family.
Well, I mean, shit, if you offer
Yeah.
and you know it's a crisis. Okay, I just looked up, according to AAA, gas prices as of the day that we're recording, the average gas
Yeah.
prices. Um, okay, the lowest is actually in the Southeast, which is where this pipeline affects.
Okay.
Um, so the lowest is on average, 279, I think,
Okay.
on average, yeah, 279. Um, what else here? Okay, and then and that's the lowest.
Right.
279 is the lowest, and that's like Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana, both Carolinas, not Georgia. Georgia's the next one up at 287.
Okay. That's not too
Which is
crazy.
also, yeah, which is all, yeah, exactly. I guess. I don't, it's all nuts to me, but I haven't had to put gas in a car in a while, so I don't really
Yeah,
know.
because I know that
Um,
when it happened the last time, I feel like the prices went up to like $4 or $5, and it was hard to
yes.
get. So it was like both extremes. Like, it was expensive if you did get it, and it was hard to find as is.
Yeah, I do remember that bump. I think that, yeah, I guess that was about, oh, the one I'm remembering is about 15 years ago
Mm.
in Georgia, and it was it was ugly. It was real ugly, and just lines out into the street, and, fights, and just people hustling as they heard that another place down the street had cheaper gas, and then getting out of line, but then it doesn't, and then they try to get back in line, like, it's not a movie theater, like you're in a car. Um, I will say the highest price, the is, $4,
Okay, that's pretty steep.
4.10, something like that, and that's gonna be your California,
Right.
Nevada, basically all of the West Coast, um, and Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
So
real.
it's mad cheap in the South, all the way over to Texas, which makes sense because that's where Texas is probably driving for free since they're sitting on all of it. New York is second highest at like a 311 average, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, baby.
292 to 311. Yeah. Wow.
That's just real, man. I mean, on the one hand, like I don't really complain about this stuff. I feel like if gas prices go up, like even if they double, I'm
Mhm.
still driving my car. Like that's not changing my
Yeah.
life. Being real, like it sucks, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
eat it.
that's the issue.
Yeah, like it is what
Mhm.
it is. So I hear people that are like, yo, it's expensive. On the other hand, like most people that I know, they do like a tank a week. That's like you're a pretty active driver. So that means you're spending an extra 40 a week, let's say $40, $50 a week
Mhm.
in driving. I'm not denying that that's expensive, 2,500 a year. That's not easy money. But I
Mhm.
will say I definitely burn $50 on bullshit every week. Like, so if you're telling me like for a week or
Oh,
two,
right.
I gotta figure it out. I'm just not going to the bar that week, until the fluctuation hits back. But Like, yeah, like
And also, like, the idea of just 1 tank a week to me as someone whose bulk of the driving I've done has been in Atlanta, that's wild to
you
me.
do more than one. You gotta do more than one down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, I don't know. I ain't out there like that. Like real talk shot. I think.
But I mean, like, but the thing is, because the place is so spread out,
Yeah,
everything's so spread out, and then there's a lot of traffic, so you're just kinda sitting and idling. Things are easily well, and there are more people now than there were before. I mean, like, in LA, a tank 1 tank a week in LA is and so that then people would be like, "Oh, so you just don't go anywhere?" And that's the place with the highest gas. That's
like,
insane.
oh, so you don't got
I don't
friends, you
know.
know?
Oh, I get it, you work from
Oh, you
home.
know?
But
That's the first
yeah,
question your
that's
therapist asks you in LA. How much do you how often you load up your tank? Like, oh, just once a week? Are you okay?
yeah, like, that is wild, that is wild to me. I mean, like, maybe folks can do it on, like, but I feel like now with the way traffic is and everything taking longer to get places because there are more people and things being more spread out, depending on how you live your life. On average, if we take all of Metro Atlanta, yeah, it's gonna be more than 1 tank a
Okay.
week.
Alright, well, I
Yeah.
misspoke, my bad. As a New
No, no,
Yorker,
no, I
it
mean, that is I mean, but I say that because that is, I think, the case in most of the country. I mean, New York is one of the few places where you can get by without a
yeah.
car.
Like, I legit
Uh,
don't even do it that often. I think I do a tank every, like,
mhm.
3 weeks.
Yeah, like, I totally could see that being the case because everything is so densely populated, whereas every place else,
Yeah.
things are spread out wide. Even in, like, major cities, there's, I mean, like, Houston is certainly a car
Right,
city.
right.
That's, like, one of the most that's, like, 4th populous city?
That's
It's like the 4th largest city in the country or something like
yeah.
that. So it's just it's just all that land that you're covering that can still be called Houston. So, like, this is gonna and of course, this is right in time for people wanting to hit the road again.
Yeah, I was excited. I'm telling you, I was doing a little weekend getaway in North Carolina. I booked it like a
Mhm,
month ago.
mhm.
So yeah, if I ain't back next week to record, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be
That's it.
now,
That's what
now
happened.
you know what happened. I'm stuck in North Carolina. You don't see me trying to figure out the Wi-Fi. Like,
Yeah, 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 figure that out. We don't want you don't wanna be stuck in North Carolina. No offense, North Carolina.
nah,
No
that's why I'm
offense.
going there. It's a great place. I just
Yeah,
don't want to be stuck.
right.
Oh my goodness. The FDA greenlights a Pfizer vaccine for children ages 12 to 15. That's right. As New York becomes the latest state to require students at publicly funded colleges to be vaccinated for the fall term. Um, Pfizer announced that on as of Monday that it had received FDA approval for children ages 12 to 15. Yeah, this is big time moves here. Up until this point, the minimum age was 16 for the shot. Um, New York is really trying to make sure that we can turn up this summer as aggressively as possible. You know,
Oh,
by any means,
man.
they out here like, yo, you getting a shot,
By
B.
any means. Yeah, it feels like a threat now. Now it's starting to feel like a threat.
You
You know
getting
what I
this
mean? It's
shot.
just like, "Hey, y'all got your shot. We've given your children shots. We gonna be out here in these streets. I don't care. No, we've got a whole new force that's just coming to every apartment and dragging people out to the street. You gonna have fun, goddammit. We guarantee it. Thank you, NYPD."
Oh man, I love the aggression. I don't want anyone to be forced to do anything they don't want, but I still respect gangsters. I've watched too many movies of that nature to not appreciate the aggression here. Like this is going like real talk. I could see like Scorsese shooting some movie in 10 years, like Andrew Cuomo, gangster vaccines. You know. He was out in the street stabbing everybody. You gonna feel better.
No, no, because I mean, a stabbing from Cuomo means a completely different thing, unfortunately. one that he is probably going to get in trouble for. Yeah, I don't it just it is a little aggressive is how it's feeling right now. I
Yeah.
mean, do what you want, and everyone I don't know if everyone's really trying to do it with no judgment. I would like it if people would do it with no judgment, like, if there are people who are just like, "Nah, I don't wanna go out." Like, that's fine. Great, stay in then if you feel that way, don't make me go out, please. But I mean, I guess I'll do my part. I got vaccinated. I have a sun hat. I'll try.
There we go.
But, it still feels a little like, all right, get off my back, you know? Because I'm not necessarily one that you want out in the streets anyway. I don't really drink. So when I go to the bars, I'm not really getting anything to drink. I go to a bar for a purpose, to see a show, to meet up with someone for a conversation.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm just getting a Sprite.
that's real.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm not gonna be the best, you know what I mean? Like, I don't spend a lot of money when I go out.
not as real.
So
We're not the target demo. Like Shalewa and I would be like at a bar, and like we're the people like calling over the waiter. Like, all right, so like the water don't count as one of the two drinks for this minimal.
Right.
You know, I
Right,
order
yeah.
fries. You know what I mean? Like that's an item.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If we're going someplace where there's a 2-item minimum, I'm getting, like, the smallest, like, appetizer and, like, a fruit juice. So, I don't know if I'm the one that you want for rebuilding. I don't know if I'm the one for rebuilding. I'm not gonna help you rebuild. I'm really not. I'm so sorry. I do love your establishment, even though I barely spend money in your
There you go.
establishment. I'm just happy you're here, following your dream, but you're not gonna get more than a ginger ale or a Sprite out of
That's
me. Also, I can tell the difference between the 2.
well, word.
Don't give me seltzer and call it a Sprite. You know what I mean? Don't piss on my leg and say it's rain. That shit's seltzer. I hate seltzer. I asked for a Sprite or a ginger ale, and I've had to start asking for ginger ales because at least I know that's a little bit tan in color.
Yeah.
So I know when you're bullshitting me. But even then, y'all just try to put a little bit of Coca-Cola or Pepsi into a seltzer. And I'm like, "Well, do you think I can't taste anything? I didn't get the COVID. Get it right. Get it right."
I'm diabetic because I've become an expert at having these
E
sugary drinks. Okay.
exactly, exactly. I have a very my palate isn't good for much, but it's gonna tell you when you gave me the wrong
You
soda,
know?
for sure, for sure.
Oh man. Helping out with the cause. We have Uber and Lyft committing to provide free rides to vaccination sites as part of a new partnership with the White House. President Joe Biden is set to announce additional steps towards promoting vaccine accessibility, including free rides on Uber and Lyft to vaccination sites to help meet the administration's goal of 70% of adults getting at least one corona shot by July 4th. Uber and Lyft will provide free rides to and from vaccination sites until July 4th as part of the partnership. I dig this. I think this is a dope commitment. But like, this is a little bit like if like Lex Luger did something nice. Like I don't trust these companies, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm here to tell you, speaking for Lyft, it's nice that they are providing these free rides, but they have tacked on a smooth, like, $7 to what rates used to be.
Yeah,
Lifts have gone up.
shit is
Like,
real.
a lot. And I mean, I get that people weren't going anywhere for a while. I understand that. But, uh, I mean, I guess we're venturing out now, but that feels like a lot. When that number comes up, I'm like, "Well, maybe I will stay home. Maybe I do." You know? I don't know. So there's that. And also, the first show that I did in front of people again this year, I got a lift home,
Okay.
and my Lyft driver, um, was mad anti-vax. Crazy. He started immediately
Whoa.
with it and didn't pick up on that I didn't wanna talk, and which didn't matter because he was going to talk anyway.
Mhm.
So he started out asking, "How was your Easter?" And it was like 3 weeks after Easter, and I'm like, "I mean, I guess fine. I guess everything went well." And, then, it was a nice enough conversation of just like, how something about, just getting to be out driving again and getting back to work and whatever. And he said that his ex-wife's job was requiring that people who work there got the vaccine. And then it was like, "Well, what do you think of the vaccine?" I'm like, "I mean, if you need, I have no problem with it, really." And then he's like, "Well, aren't you worried about?" And then we were off to the races. Look here, the the ink that's in the vaccine is made of an invisible ink that will mark you up, and, when they, put a black light to you, it'll be the mark of the beast, and, all kinds of stuff. Something about, eugenics and, I mean, wild stuff. He showed me a website all while driving, showed me a website, for me to go to really get more information, and his concern, and just everything that I'm now, I was just like, "Wow, this is a lot." I knew that some anti-vaxxers had some wild opinions about this, but this is all of them. I think these are all of the opinions, all in a beautifully crafted narrative, might I
Yo.
add, which is why I didn't stop him, because I was like, "And what's next?" A masterful storyteller. Um, from door to door, he had me riveted
My man's
from
working
door
on
to
that
door.
presentation hard. He's like, "Imma nail this.
Yeah. He said, I'm a
Imma
getter." And
save
I was just
everybody,
like,
one person at a time, one fare at a time. Imma
yeah,
convert everybody."
just but no question, like, no real trying to feel anyone out about it. Just like, boom, here's why you have the mark of the beast. And I was just like, I mean, it's too late now. I wouldn't be able to be in your little car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to be in your little Camry if it wasn't for the mark of the beast. So I don't know how you're gonna keep working
Listen.
if we aren't all marked by the beast. But it was wild. So I mean, like, that's who's driving. So how are they gonna feel about taking you? Like, how's that gonna be when you've gotten your shot and you sit around for 15 minutes and you're great, and then you get a car and it's free and you hop in, and this dude is now popping this yang about all of this stuff.
That
Yikes,
is scary.
yikes. Yeah, we didn't think about that. We didn't think about the individuals behind the wheel. We're just thinking Uber, Lyft, free ride, great. Yeah, but who's driving these
Yeah.
Ubers and Lyfts? They're uh,
Not quite on board.
uh.
I yeah, I'm pro Mark of the Beast. I gotta tell you, that doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if you, I don't know. I've yet to meet the beast. I don't know why he marking people. Um,
Right?
I. But if you care enough about me to want to get to know me that well, I want to know who you are too.
What?
You
I mean,
inspired a great
I would
Fuji song. I think
I
everything beast so far has been dope to me. My favorite
I mean,
X-Men.
look, what I like is that the beast is now using invisible ink inside your skin, like fireflies, the dude said. He's like, like a firefly? And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, so like fluorescence." He's like, "Yes, fluorescence." Like, I was with him. I mean, I'm following what he was saying. I don't agree with any of it, but I'm following. I get it. But, so I like that the beast is now using fluorescence to
Okay.
mark people. Because last I heard, it was just like a mark on the back of your neck,
Nah, he stepped up. Oh man.
like a brand or something. So now if there's just a way to get it in me and I don't see it until there's a black light around, well, that's fine.
Yeah, wouldn't it be dope to find out that the beast sharp set like Michael's? Yeah, I gotta mark some people. I need some fluorescent lighting. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I just need to I need to milk these highlighters. The beast is just walking out of Staples with a cart full of boxes of highlighters because he's getting ready to mark us all. Just walking straight into Pfizer.
the MTA is struggling to get the majority of workers on the vaccination train. That's right. The transit workers who kept the city moving through some of its darkest days took a sizable hit during the pandemic, with more than 160 MTA employees dying because of COVID-19. Agency data shows that 41% of the more than 70,000 MTA employees have received at least one vaccine dose, about the same rate as the city and state, but officials concede it won't be easy to sway the vaccine holdouts. Keep in mind that the city has offered 2 paid hours to any MTA employee that is wanted, that has stepped out to get the shot. And this is kind of like based on a survey taken by the MTA, where just over 50% of its total employees have taken it, but specifically the ones that are front facing us are unfortunately not taking the shot due to various reasons. Mostly, it's being attributed to the fact that we have a large contingency of NTA employees that are Black and Hispanic, who have very real reasons for doubting the system of taking vaccines. So yeah, it's going to be tough for them to overcome that and have those discussions, but I'm curious, like, how that's going to get handled, because we need them. We want them to be safe. They're dealing with the general public again. We're offering it. We're paying at this point, right? Like the MTA is paying the
Mhm.
money to do it. I don't know what other incentive we could think up of for them to go get the shot, or what kind of proof they can present to people that are holding out to get the shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking and what I feel like most people say is they wanna wait it out, they wanna see what happens.
Right.
They wanna wait till, like, if not the end of this year, maybe the end of next year to see how it plays out.
Right. Right.
Like, how it play like, the way it played out last year. I don't know, like, I don't wanna it's a rough
Yeah.
and I mean, I feel like also some people feel like, "Well, I've gotten this far."
Right. Right.
I've gotten this
I'm
far
built
and y'all
different.
seem to be doing other people seem to be doing what they, whatever. Um, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and I should be okay, which is not ideal. Um, especially for the MTA who lost a lot of workers.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of workers.
I had to really break that down to my brother, by the way. That dude pissed me off with that. He was like, "Oh, so only 162 people died?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's 70,000. That's like one in like 40." I'm like,
Mhm.
like that's like if you went to class and every period they told you someone else died. Like that's traumatic.
Right.
Like that's wild. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like that's a lot of people, but then a lot of people were just sick.
yeah,
A lot of people were sick, and now we don't know what's going to happen, like, long term. Like, how many of those people are, like, have long COVID, where
right, right.
they were sick with COVID, and now they've got respiratory issues, which certainly will be a problem if your job is in a glass box underground, like, around vehicles, you know? So it's, but again, like you said, I truly don't know how to talk people into it.
Eh,
And, um, and perhaps it's just not our place too. Maybe this is all part of it.
right.
Part of the whole pandemic story is that there will be people who will not. I can't think of any real story in human history where uh people were unbelievably selfless. I can't think of one. I can't think of one. There's always one person who's like, "Well,
Nah.
y'all can do that if you want to." There's always one person. I cannot think of any time.
Oh man.
So, I mean, I guess we really should when figuring things out, we really need to account for the selfishness of people.
Nah.
I mean, I didn't know our selfish levels were as high as they were. You have a feeling, but you don't know until you see it. But I mean, I'm surprised with the number, but I'm not surprised that it's out there. And so,
I
I
I also thought the right at the very end of this article, it says that the NYPD reported that only 35% of its officers and support staff have been fully vaccinated. Um So like a part of me feels like the NYPD like has been like doing the pressure on like, hey yo, listen, y'all need to talk about these MTA workers before they
Mm.
figure us out.
Right, so no one will pay. Yeah, because 'cause I've heard about, I mean, like, cops, like, across the board, that's about the average percentage of, police officers that have been vaccinated, in the 30s,
That's wild.
and I'm like, "Wow," and they are as front facing as you can be.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so what are we, ugh, but again, not selfless. That is, so,
Oh man, you can't make it up. Uh
mm,
we last week we had an episode called Florida being Florida. So I really feel like this might just be a thing. We have
oh, no. Oh,
in this week's
no.
Florida being Florida segment, Florida man wanted for stealing a trove of Leinard Skynyrd, is that how you say it? Memorabilia?
No, that's Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinnerd memorabilia. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I guess that is a way that you could say that. I don't know. I never, I grew up in the South. You not knowing how to say Leonard Skinner, that would have been an automatic ass whooping,
I was
but
trying to
you
find the
being
first
in
word.
Brooklyn, it's like, "Oh, no, it makes sense. Why would you know that?"
The only thing that I knew how to, I felt like I don't know none of these other syllables but sky. So I was like, all right, they got to rhyme with
Go
sky,
from there.
So I worked my way out.
Yep.
the,
Yeah, no. The Deep South will get you every
eh,
time.
it's Houston, all right? You know what I mean?
Nope, you're insane. Oh,
This
man.
free bird, I like that, cute, could wind up in a cage after stealing about $12,000 worth of Leonard, I
Leonard
can't find my instincts.
Skinner.
Leonard Skinner memorabilia in Florida. Williams James Walker, 38, is wanted for the theft of a trailer filled with rock relics, which were intended to be sold for charity last month. For those of you that don't know, the band that I struggle pronouncing is known for several great hits, of which I know "Sweet Home Alabama," just because it's a
Mhm.
really dope like song that white people sing at weddings. I've noticed, even though it relates nothing to the.
What? You've been to weddings where people sang "Sweet Home
Yeah, and
Alabama"?
I don't get it because I feel like the people were from like Long Island. I don't know why.
Oh, no, no, no. "Sweet Home Alabama," it's not it's not just a Southern thing. It really relates to more of a little more rednecky.
Yeah,
And also just kind of a pride in being so, and that isn't limited to the South.
yeah, no, I
That's
dig it. Like it felt to me
yeah.
like like kind of like what you was talking about last week with the whole melancholy thing. Like I felt like
Uh-huh.
every white person I saw at the weddings that I've seen it sung at, they get like misty eyed singing it, and they start offering me drinks. I get hugged a lot when this is sung.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy, party song, it lasts long enough, people, even if you don't know the rest of the song, you can sing the "Sweet Home Alabama" part,
Yeah,
and that's all you really need to
that's
know,
it.
so it's easy enough to sing, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, wow, I'm looking at all the stuff that was stolen, and wow, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the stolen items
Um
included irreplaceable mementos from the Southern rock band, as well as a 1957 Les Paul guitar signed by musicians Greg Allman, Brian Howe, Butch Trucks, and others. Yeah,
Mhm,
it was quite the haul he took in, and so a double whammy, right? Like A, you stole stuff that like people care a lot about, but B, that you
mhm.
stole something that was gonna go to a good cause. It was gonna be auctioned off. Really, really
Yeah,
trash.
but I'm pretty sure all that, Billy Jack, can I call you Billy Jack? His name was William James, but I feel like he went by Billy. Um, yeah, but all that mattered was that he was going to, steal this stuff and probably sell it
Billy Jack.
himself. He probably didn't really know what was in it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was just a trailer full of guitars or something, and
He's
he
making a
probably was just
demo
like,
right now.
I'm gonna sell all that stuff."
Oh man, this poor dude, Williams
Uh,
James. I'm really curious if there's like a big like uh Leonard Skinner like contingency in jail. Like when
Yes.
this guy does
Oh,
the
well,
bid.
yes. I didn't even I didn't even let you finish. If there's a really big Leonard Skinner, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Whatever it is you're gonna finish it with, there is. But that you said in jail, it's like, oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
They're in jail, they're in garages, they're working, you know what I mean? They're mechanics.
'Cause like when this guy does a bid, is he like revered for like y'all would have stole it too? Or is it like, yo, the nerve of you stealing that guitar?
Well, it could go either way.
Yeah.
It could honestly go either way with this. It depends on how he talks it up.
Right.
If
He got to
he's
start
like
thinking of that from now.
if he's just like, "Yo, I just stole a bunch of shit. I stole a bunch of guitars and stuff, and wouldn't you know it, it ended up being Leonard Skinner stuff." People would be like, "How did you not know it was Leonard Skinner stuff?" or whatever. But if he's like, "Yo, I went in to steal," well, no, even then people might be upset, but
Yeah.
maybe not. But maybe not. It's hard to tell. You can't call it with a Leonard Skinner person. But also, I don't know why I'm saying the whole thing, the whole name. You could just say Skinnerd if you
Oh,
if
really?
you've been
Okay.
around it long enough. But I don't want to. I don't even. I honestly, I truly, I guess. Since they had Freebird, I guess they did Freebird. I always forget who sang the song Freebird constantly. Are you familiar with Freebird?
Nah, like that free like when I saw that, I thought it was like a Jim Jones like diplomats reference. Like, oh, like
Oh,
this is
wow.
some he collabed with like Baby from Cash
No,
Money or something. I don't know.
no, no, sweetie. I mean, nobody, I don't think there's anyone in this story who is aware of Jim Jones and the Diplomats at all. Like, that's not their issue. That's not their ministry. Um, Freebird is a song by Skinnerd,
Okay.
and the joke, a long time joke is that, um, people used to yell it out at concerts to be played, not just Leonard Skinner concerts, any rock concert.
That's
So,
kind of dope.
so if someone was like, any not that bands are normally any request, but if there's just like a lull, someone will yell out "Freebird" because it was a big hit. And a funny thing to do, is to yell it at other bands' concerts. But a very funny thing to do there for a hot second is to yell it out at hip hop concerts, in the '90s where then only, like maybe a third of the audience was just like, "Free bird," but for the most part, everyone's like, "What the hell?" And that aged out as the fans got older and stopped going to shows and even understanding what Freebird was. That joke itself aged out so much so that it's kind of due for a it's due for a comeback.
Yeah.
So if anybody, is able to go to a show again, but the thing is, the person on stage will not know what you're talking about, and honestly, the only people who will be the chaperones in the back, so you really gotta be deep in the room to say that and have it hit in any way. You gotta be by the
Yeah,
parents.
it's niche. It's niche.
It's very niche, and even then, I mean, like, you still run the risk of them being like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and I don't think Dua Lipa knows what Freebird is. Even though it was a popular song years ago.
Right.
So that's why the Freebird, what Gastor is referring to is this article started with this Freebird could wind up in a cage, and Freebird is in quotes,
Yeah.
and that's why Gastor went diplomats, and I just went, "Oh, Lord, Freebird."
So this was like Rick rolling a band, but like in person.
I guess, except I guess maybe it was like an early form of Rickrolling
Okay.
where you're messing with them.
Yeah.
Because the joke, I mean, I think the joke was just kind of based on someone being at any rock band and being so drunk and they just want that band to play Freebird, whether or not it was their song. And then you started to yell it out at people that like that you knew didn't know how to play
I love
Freebird.
this. I
Yeah.
wanna.
But then you could yell it out at, like, a Weezer show, ironically, and they would break in the free, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some bands would be like, "Oh, we got your Freebird, we actually know it." You know what I mean? Which, itself is kind of funny. But, yeah, it is. It's an analog Rick roll, I guess.
Okay. I
Yeah.
want that Beyonce Free Bird.
Oh,
That would be
Lord, that's
fire.
a whole dance. No one will understand. No one I don't know if anyone will understand Freebird. Again, you gotta go back to the chaperone section
But
maybe for
she'll
that.
make like a documentary about it and explain it afterward, and it'll be cool,
I
you know.
don't think Beyonce's gonna do the history on Freebird at all.
A lawmaker makes a ridiculous explanation for the 3/5 compromise on
Mm,
slavery. That's right. Speaking at the Tennessee House of Representatives on Tuesday, State Rep Justin Lafferty became the latest politician to reveal how little Americans, including those in positions of power, know about the country's history. The Constitution's 3/5 compromise, he said, was designed to ensure that Southern states never got the population necessary to continue the practice of slavery everywhere else in the country. And he asserted that the farmers adopted this clause for the purpose of ending slavery. Yo. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
Well, this is a remix.
Yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, real talk. Like as a parent, when like a question comes up, my kids are 10, 11 years old, 11, 12 now. I ask them, what do you think? And I listen to their ability to piece together thoughts. And they're pretty good, but sometimes they
Uh-huh.
go wrong. That's my job to interject. This dude's parents never did that. They just let him
So,
come up with this hypothesis and they were like, yeah,
I
run with that.
dare say they're the ones that taught it to him.
Yeah, word. He said, my dad said, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm willing to bet. Okay, but you know what? Here's what I think maybe we should do for people who aren't 100% sure what the three-fifths compromise is. I think we should let's just I'm gonna go ahead and read
Please, please.
'cause you may just be like, "I don't see what they laughing about." So let's
I
I
hope
mean,
that is very little of our listeners, but yeah,
I
I'm sure.
really hope so too, but you never know. I don't know what they teaching the children.
Yeah, you're right. We got a huge.
We've already lost the free bird tradition. Who What else don't the kids know?
Nah,
Right?
you're right. We do have like surprisingly like big followings in weird places. So like, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
for the New
So,
Zealand and Bahama fans that rock with us. So
yeah, here's what we're talking about. The three-fifths compromise was an agreement between delegates from the northern and southern states at the United States Constitutional Convention in 1787 that three-fifths of the slave population would be counted for determining direct taxation and representation in the House of Representatives. That's what the three-fifths compromise is? Does that sound right?
that still sound kind of like dressed up.
Yeah. That's okay, that's Britannica. Let's see what this one says. The Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution of the United States declared that any person who was not free would be counted as three-fifths of a free individual for the purposes of determining congressional representation.
That
The
sounds closer.
three-fifths clause thus increases the political power of slaveholding states.
That sounds like a lot more accurate to me.
That sounds closer.
Yeah,
Mhm. So, yeah, so that's what it is. It is not in any way ending slavery.
nah.
It is a way to, um, get more taxation. Like, what are we talking about?
It
Like
gave
the
them both
taxation.
wins. They got to
Yeah,
basically count slaves as people in terms of taxes and in power in Congress without
but
giving
not a
those same
full
people
person.
exactly. They were less
Yeah,
than, and in turn, those same people didn't have political power because they were less than a person. So it was like
right.
catch 22. Like you are not a person, you don't have all the rights, but for the people that owned you, they could leverage you as part of the population to affect the way taxes were put in place, the power that they had in terms of representation in Congress. You know, like a lot of that is affected by the population of each state and each county. So it was gangsters. Like they got the best of both worlds in terms of that dynamic. Like, oh, y'all don't get rights, but we get more rights because we own y'all. It had nothing to do with like, oh, now we doing this so we can vote in your favor. We not letting you vote though. We gonna vote for you. Yeah, come on, B.
Right. Yeah. So that is insane that this person said that the framers adopted the clause for the purpose of ending slavery.
And
Um,
and again,
like
just
that.
to remind people, this is an elected official. This ain't like a dude with a blog on his own. This is a CNN article talking about a state rep in Tennessee. Like Tennessee got like sports teams. Like they see black people all the time winning on their behalf. Like I know like they're used to us. Like, I'm blown away that this is a current opinion that this dude had. And like this isn't the first time this come up. Like these people got speechwriters. Like he had people in the offices like, yeah, word. I run with that. Run with that. That makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's wow.
Got speechwriters.
There was
No,
an
you're right.
intern in that room. Like somebody was like, yeah, I don't know. All right, cool. I mean, I'm gonna give my 3 credits. Yeah, then of course, that's exactly what the compromise is for. This is bananas. That this is a real moment happening today. Like you had a whole year in quarantine where you could have rethought this opinion. It was just you, your computer, and Wikipedia. You could have figured out the right answer.
Well, did you see the fellow who was this in Texas where they were trying to do some old voter suppression? And the way this politician wrote out a part of the bill that he proposed included wanting purity at the polls.
Whoa.
And so he was asked by another politician, like, do you know the history of that phrase, purity at the polls? Not, and he's asked by another white guy, asked him, do you know the history of that phrase? And he's like, well, I know, blah, 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 1787, yada, 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 all this other shit. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, that phrase was originally used for a disenfranchisement of black voters in particular, and also used to justify Jim Crow and all of these other he gave all these other things, and the guy's just like, "Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I didn't know that it was used like that. Oh, that's a shame." Huh.
Wow.
Oh, that's a shame, you think?
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
listen,
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you?
listen, Sha, I say shit that I know I'm wrong about all the time. But when I'm presented with the facts, I'm very quick to say, oh shit, my bad. I didn't mean that. Let me learn from this and apologize profusely. Like I don't see what's the shame in that. Like, all right, you messed up. Clearly you didn't have the information. But instead, this dude, your man doubled down. He said, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Actually, this is what I think it means, right? Oh, nah, that's not what it
Uh-huh.
means? True.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
How's
I
that
mean,
energy?
but also, what would you think purity at the polls mean?
Yeah.
When you throw out the word purity and you're not talking about skincare, there's an issue. I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when you say purity and you're not talking about like skin.
Seriously.
like clearing my complexion.
Wow.
Then I don't trust what you're getting ready
Yeah.
because yeah, pure always scares me
Yeah, seriously.
when you're
That's
yeah,
just
I don't
rough.
I don't like especially when it's coming out of the mouth of a white person. I'm sorry, white people. Y'all try your best not to say purity.
Yeah,
Like there's
that's a simple rule.
gotta be another way.
That's it. I also just like in general, if you ever see a picture of Justin LaFerty, I do recommend all white people look at Homeboy. Just because from my perspective, anytime I see somebody with this haircut, I'm a little suspicious. Like I just assume.
It's for those who are curious, it is your generic um part on the side, white dude haircut.
Yeah, like I don't think they're.
Rimless glasses,
Yeah, like
a
something about
tie
his
that
look.
doesn't work.
When I see that look, I don't assume that you're racist, but I assume that you haven't been exposed to people like me.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you're gonna be uninformed. So I'm a little
yeah.
conscientious of like, oh, I don't know what you're gonna say something out of pocket, and you ain't gonna know it's out of pocket, and you're gonna say it like mid dinner, and I'm gonna just have to eat it because I just ordered appetizers.
Right,
So
right,
it's gonna
yeah.
get awkward.
So, yeah, this is definitely the look of someone who will, say a thing, start out saying a thing, and you see it coming, like, 5 to 10 minutes before it comes. You see, just one little thing, one kernel, and you're like, "Hey, boss, I need you to look at my face and see the discomfort and just stop. I need you to be able to read the room." And they never can read the
At
room.
all.
So they always just barrel forth, and then they say the thing, and now it's just a hot potato in the middle of the room, and you're like, "Well, I tried to tell him, but, ain't no one listening to me, and that's part of the problem." So, yeah, he's definitely that guy.
One of my favorite articles this week. Man who fled with a tiger has been caught, but the animal is on the loose. Houston police said. Um,
So you know I love
yeah,
this.
this was great for me, just because like my wife is constantly like telling me, "Hey, we should move to Florida, Texas, and get more space." And we don't got no tigers out in New York. I know that. This ain't a problem that ever comes up in my hood. Nobody on the block,
Nah,
like.
y'all got tigers. Trust me. Look, let me tell you something. Escaped animals are my beat.
Okay.
I always try to follow every story about escaped animals. Always.
Okay.
Now, I didn't watch Tiger King because that wasn't like escaped animals.
Right.
That was just like a weird dude. And I don't care about weird dudes. I want to see animals that somehow managed to get free.
Right.
So I saw this start like a day or so ago, and I was just like, all right, let's see what's going to happen with this tiger. I didn't tweet about it though. I mean, I have people sending me stories about animals that escape because I pay such close attention to it, but I didn't tweet anything about it because this is bigger than the tiger.
Oh man. Houston authorities have captured a man who allegedly evaded police while housing a Bengal tiger in a yard, but the tiger remains on the lam. I love that word. Like the whereabouts of the tiger are not yet known, Houston police tweeted on Monday. Victor Hugo Cuevas, 26, was out on bond for a prior murder charge in Fort Bend County on Monday morning when neighbors spotted the tiger in a front yard. Houston Police Commander Ron Borza said in the news. There are also reports that the suspects had monkeys, which are allowed in the city. Owning a tiger is a violation of Houston law, but it is legal under Texas state law with certain restrictions.
Texas is wild, yo.
Yo, this is awesome. Like,
See, that's why your wife wants to move there. Y'all could, I
we
mean,
could.
under the right restrictions, y'all can have a tiger.
Real talk, I do want a tiger. I think it'd be cool.
Okay, see, that's the problem. Is that honestly, she just wants more space, and then you would come in with, "We can keep a
For
tiger in
real.
that space," and she's like, "No, Gastor, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking
Oh, she already got
I
like
just
100
wanted."
trees. Like, it'll feel like it's at home, you know? We'll put all the plants up.
Uh-huh.
I'm digging
Yeah,
this.
at home. Yeah, I don't think so, but okay.
I just love, like, so much about this article was great. Like, I love that they had to like clarify that, just so y'all know you can own a tiger, just not in that city. Like, this art, like CNN sent this article to like a rep from Texas. They're like, "Yo, hold on, we don't want bad press." Just to be
Right.
clear, you know, you
Yeah,
can't bring
you
tigers in.
can't.
It's not there. Austin, cool. Houston, no. You know,
Right, yeah.
there's a lot of great cities you can move here and keep your tigers. I also love the idea of like the tiger being on the lam, like like he's like just evaded, like he's
Oh,
showing
yeah,
up in
just a
Wu-Tang
tiger in,
Clan
like,
videos.
sunglasses. The tiger just in a visor hoping no one will notice him in a sweatsuit. A tiger in a leopard print sweatsuit
Yo, that'd be
hoping nobody
fire.
will notice him. Oh, man.
Oh man, it's great. I love all this. Keep fighting a good fight. You know what I mean, Tiger. Stay out there, be
Wait,
on the
hold
lam.
on. Hold on. We gotta get you got because there's video of
Yeah,
this that's out there. So, cell phone video was taken by Maria Torres, and it shows the big cat lounging and walking in the grass outside of a suburban home.
right.
Later, a man in a white shirt who police said is it Cuevas?
Yeah.
Straddled and grabbed the tiger and tried to move it away from the others. There was a brief pursuit, and the man got away with the tiger. Um, I think he grabbed the tiger and put it in the back of his truck,
This is
What
incredible.
happened?
Oh my
So
god.
the guy, Cuevas is saying, his lawyer is saying he's not the owner of the tiger.
Oh, word?
Uh-huh. He's in custody.
He's denying the tiger like that, B?
He's saying he's not the owner of the tiger. But look, I want to know what's going on. I understand people. Here's what the lawyer's saying. I understand that a lot of people are interested in what's going to happen with the tiger and what's going on. But in this case, Houston Police Department was in such a hurry to wrap it up and come find their guy. They just assumed because my client was the one who caught this tiger, who went out and got it and brought it back to safety. Everyone is just assuming he's the owner of the tiger, that it's his tiger. Nigga, who else is going out and getting tigers than someone who maybe murdered somebody, allegedly murdered someone.
And what tigers are just trusting random people, you know?
Yeah. What tiger's gonna let him just pick him up and throw him in the back of a truck if the tiger wasn't already like, ah, here's old dude. All right, come on, let's
Hey,
go.
cool.
So that's wild. Also, I want to know what's going on if he also has monkeys in his house. You know what I
This
mean?
is
Like,
amazing.
are the monkeys loose too now? Look, I'm so into like loose animals, as I call them, animals that are just on the loose. Also, as far as monkeys go, years ago when Justin Bieber was, I mean, he was on and popping, maybe a couple of albums in,
Yeah.
and he was on a world tour. And he, at some point during his world tour, picked up a monkey. I don't know where he got this monkey. And I'm not a big Bieber fan. I don't dislike him. I just don't think about him. But I heard about this story.
Okay.
He got a monkey, bought a monkey. You know how you do when you just traveling and you just get souvenirs.
Of
So his
course.
was a monkey. And then they're getting ready to leave Germany.
Okay.
And Germany's like, hey man, you can't leave with that monkey. Like there's paperwork you have to fill out to take this animal with you, which makes sense because you know you can't take like fauna and flora from different countries, you know, that aren't used to being in those countries that can come in and fuck up the environment,
Okay.
right? So you can't like just take, you know, some fruits you can't take all over, some animals you can't take all over. Turns out a monkey is one of them. So Germany was like, "Hey man, you're going to have to fill out some paperwork on this monkey." And Justin Bieber said, "All right, bet. I'll leave him here cuz I got to go do this show. I got to travel, but I'll be back for the monkey." And he hasn't been back, I don't think.
Oh shit.
And so I'm just like, what happened to the Bieber monkey? And I've been wondering about what happened to the Bieber monkey for maybe a decade. I don't know how long
Yo.
it's been. I don't know how long it's been. I should look up Bieber monkey to see how long it's
Yo,
been.
that's heartbreaking.
It really
Oh
is.
my
It
god.
really is.
That poor
But
monkey.
that's when he was like being a real jerk, a real jerky young man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you imagine like he broke like when he broke up with like Selena and like his home our homegirls are like, you saw how he treated that monkey. You should have known better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, here we go. Let's see what he said about this monkey. I think he feels bad about it. Justin Bieber in 2016,
This is awesome.
he Justin Bieber opens up about his confiscated monkey.
Opens up.
Quote, "It was the furthest thing from fine." He said he had all the papers he needed for OG Malley. Was that the name of the Molly? OG Molly? That's what he named the monkey. But things got, quote, twisted, end quote, at customs. I don't even know. Oh, so a family friend gave him this monkey
Okay.
and then it was seized and then he had to go.
Heartbreak, yo.
And he took the monkey with him. I can't anyway. I just so even as someone who follows loose animals, I still that monkey is still on my heart. So I just want to make sure that the monkeys who've been living with a tiger and a crazed man are okay. And I hope they get the therapy they need.
I'm here for it.
I hope
I'm really, really rooting now for a Justin Bieber monkey themed album. Like all about like his missing of the monkey.
I know. It's literally gonna be like his rosebud at the end of Citizen Kane. It's gonna be his rosebud. It's gonna be this damn monkey.
Oh
This
man.
this Bieber monkey. But, anywho, Houston, if you out there, there's a tiger on the loose. Step lightly, 'cause I feel like this tiger has seen some things.
Finally, Tom Cruise returns Golden Globe Awards in protest of HFPA. Tom Cruise has returned his Golden Globe Awards to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Source close to the actor told CNN. Cruise won the Best Actor Globes for his performances in Jerry Maguire in '97, Born on the 4th of July in 1990. Huh, didn't know that. And the Best Supporting Actor Award for Magnolia in 2000. The
Hmm.
move comes amid a growing controversy surrounding the FPA, the organization behind the Globes, for its lack of diversity, specifically that there are no black members, an ethical question related to financial benefits to some of its 87 members, brought to light in a February investigation by the LA Times. NBC announced on Monday, related to this, that it would not be broadcasting the show in 2022 in light of the same investigation. We,
This is this is a little wild.
yo, I'm about
A little
this.
bit.
Yeah.
I mean, good on Tom Cruise for returning, his Golden Globes, but also it's been long enough that it's like, yeah, I mean, that's enough time to spend with him, otherwise, you get it. It's on paper, I guess.
Yeah, no one's
Um,
like taking that off of his wiki page. Like he's won them.
yeah, like, it's still even though you gave the hardware back, you still won the thing, you know? But yeah, Hollywood Foreign Press Association has been kind of messing things up for a while, and it really just was glaringly obvious,
Yeah.
this past year. I mean, it's been glaring obvious for a while, but I mean, like, really just, like, with some of the, um but also it's like the Hollywood Foreign Press, I think you have to just kind of buy in to be a part of it, and so that's an issue as to
Mm,
how to become part of the association.
right.
It really was kind of fascinating to learn how exactly they do that and who gets some people were holding on to their membership for longer than they should have, and, there are no black members, and they're just like, "Well, we just can't seem to there's hardly any black people writing in the foreign press," and it's like, "Well, whose fucking fault
Yeah,
is
like
that?"
that's the
Like,
problem.
yeah, like, let's fix all of this together, you know? Like, you can't just say, "Well, I mean, we would, but none of the press hires anyone." It's like, I think there are probably some people who are out there writing black people who are writing about movies,
Yeah.
and it's getting printed in foreign press, and you could probably do it, but it's a whole convoluted thing around that. Um, yeah, so go on and give that Jerry Maguire joint back.
Yeah, like that, that's really my favorite part of this. Like, I approve the move. I love that this is happening, bringing this to light, just a little bit more. But I love the idea that Tom Cruise is so petty that he keeps everybody's addresses just in case he has to
Mhm.
mail back mementos of that
I
relationship.
mean, it's such a
Like, I don't even know,
I mean,
where would you mail that shit. Like, I don't know where that
I
stuff goes.
I don't know, and also it's such a superstar move because that's what Tom Cruise is.
Yeah,
He's a movie star.
real shit.
He's not necessarily like one of our finest actors,
Right.
but he is definitely one of our best movie stars. So, it is kind of a movie star move to be like, "What? Well, just give it back to him then." Like, that's
I want no
all
parts
right.
of this.
I mean, you are raising awareness, and we appreciate that, but also, like, I mean, are there other things possibly you could do besides send it back? And maybe that's all we expect out of Tom Cruise. Maybe it's stupid of us to expect him to do more. He's doing what a movie star would do,
Word.
which is, look, get out of here. Then I don't like that. So yeah, okay.
My other favorite, like, this is the other reason I shared this article. We're currently reading the CNN article. I found the
Mhm.
same article about, the Golden Globes and the NBC part of it, at allhiphop.com. And this is how they titled it: Golden Globes Awards canceled by NBC for being rusty as hell.
Okay, all hip hop.
Never change, yo. Never
I
change.
mean, that can't be you can't argue with that either.
Whoever is the editor over there, man, never change. That is awesome. Man, I can just read their article titles all day. I think it's great. But yeah. I'm here for this though. I love that he mailed it back. I think it's the right move.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the right move for him. In this I think in this piece, it also says Scarlett Johansson made a statement, we should step back from the "Alright, thanks, Scarlett." I mean, I don't know what else anyone can do to hold feet to the fire, really, except pull their support and loudly say that they're pulling their support. So, you do that however best you did, but what she did bring up was, remarks by certain Hollywood Foreign Press Association members that bordered on sexual harassment,
Mm,
um, what when doing press during award season, and I believe somebody allegedly, affiliated with the Hollywood, Foreign Press Association, um, sexually assaulted Brendan Fraser.
oh wow.
And, then, of course, he wasn't able to speak out about it, but he did when he started to, he kinda got blacklisted, and that's why he wasn't in a lot of movies.
Mm.
So, yeah, definitely burn it all. Burn it all. Golden Goose, all of it. It doesn't matter. Burn it all. It's all stupidness. Also, most importantly, this past one, Daniel Kaluuya won, for Judas and the Black Messiah, and they had him on mute when
Yeah.
he went to give his acceptance speech, and
Trash.
I'm very upset that they were just like, "Oh, there must be something wrong with the connection." Nah, it's on mute. Has
Yeah.
any of you been on Zoom this whole time?
They
Ugh.
could have unmuted,
So
homie.
yeah, so they finally did, and then he had to say it again, but he was just like, "It's a sabotage." But still, so if we're not upset about possible sexual harassment, during their press season, during award season, if we're, not upset by the fact that there are no black members, and they don't seem to be in any hurry to find any, or that there's a whole bribery system in place to stay on the association,
Right.
um, if we're not moved by the fact that Tom Cruise sent back all of his, Golden Globes or whatever,
Right.
just keep in mind they muted Daniel Kaluuya and they kept having Ricky Gervais host the Golden Globe. And that alone, that's 2 reasons to just be like, "Fuck these
Big
dudes."
facts.
That said, if you guys get your shit together and you feel like giving out Golden Globes and I'm still in the business, I'm here for
Real
you.
talk, real talk. Golden Globe for a
There we go.
podcast. I'm here for it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, if you would like to not be rusty as hell, please like and subscribe to the show. If you're an Apple listener, 5 stars is welcome. 4 stars is cool. But admittedly, when I get to Tom Cruise level, I will return that. If you have any news articles you'd like to share, please DM us directly at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte. Always thankful for the assist from all of y'all. Yeah, y'all are dope. Makes my job a lot easier. Super appreciate that. With all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. This has been another War Report. Catch y'all next week. Peace.